Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Great you could join me here today on this Friday review where, as always, we'll be recapping the best of the week. Excited because it was a big week. I'm going to go over a bunch of things that have really happened over the past week. Kind of my faith in humanity has been restored. I'm feeling a little bit more energetic and lively and probably upbeat than I was to the start to this week on Monday. And that is because of the show that happened on Tuesday and really the feedback on that. I'll get to that in just a moment. Of course, this week I want to share with you what we have going on over at Equilibrium Nutrition before that ends in a day or two from now. I want to talk about how the very real fact that censorship is going on is quite disheartening, so I'll spend just a couple minutes on that. I want to go over a couple podcasts that will be coming in the future, just over the next couple weeks. So many people have been asking for certain things that are very timely this time of the year, so I'll certainly be going over that. I want to go over a quick product review that my wife and I have been using over the past few weeks to create, pretty straightforward, pretty easy meals for the whole family. And then I have two nice research studies for you this week. So a lot coming over the next couple weeks, but let's get into today's show right now. So first things first, I just want to, because I didn't get to last Friday, I wanted to wish all the amazing moms out there. I hope they had an amazing Mother's Day last Sunday. I believe it was last Sunday. And, just wanted to, of course, thank you as a whole and individually for all that you do. I know how amazing my mom was growing up and really raising four crazy kids, all basically four kids under the age of 5 years old, all about 18 months apart, and that could not have been easy. And, I want to thank my wife as well for all that she does for keeping our family healthy and, really keeping us a unified family. So thank you to my mom and my wife, and also thanks to all the moms out there as well. And this week over at Equilibrium Nutrition, I want to make sure that you did hear about this. I believe it was only announced, I believe it was at the end of the podcast this week. Hopefully you'll be hearing it at the end of the show here today. But we are giving away 2 free bottles, not one, but 2 of our daily fruit and vegetable blend unflavored. The unflavored is the original. This is the one that it's just pure 22 fruit, vegetable, and superfoods that have been juiced and they've been essentially dehydrated so that all you get are the phytonutrients of the fruit without all the extra carbs and sugar, etc. And again, you know that I'm a huge advocate of fruit and vegetables anyway, but this is a way to get 22 different kinds every single day. If you think about it, most of us get maybe 2, maybe 3 different types of fruit and vegetables every day. If you get more than that, well, you're doing great, and that's fantastic. So what I like to do is I just use products like the Daily Nutritional Support, the Omega-3, and the Daily Fruit and Vegetable Blend, as well as my probiotics as a fail-safe, meaning okay, well, hopefully I get all my vitamins and minerals every day, but whenever I run my own or I run other people's, it's always short in one particular area or another, and it's different for the individual. So regardless, this is an easy way. It's just 1 scoop every single morning. You can just mix it in water, mix it in some nut milk, mix it in a smoothie, whatever you like. And that's the unflavored fruit and vegetable blend. Why are we giving away 2? Well, here's the reason why. Right now, when you go to the grocery food store, a lot of those organic fruits and veggies, they're hard to come by. Okay, there's a lot more conventional. I'm a huge advocate of less pesticides, less sprays, none ideally. So what this does, it gives you more of that. Again, you can use it with the whole family, and that's why there's 2. So it's not just for you, it's for you and a loved one, because each one is a 30-day supply, or for your family, and again, it's going to last you about a month. And so we want other people to try it. We want other people to get out there, just keep themselves healthier. or give a bottle away. I mean, that's really what it's all about. The information, the nutritional supplements, the good foods, it's like you give as much as you can away. We've got a fun little garden here starting this spring, and of course, it won't be ready for weeks, but we grow enough so that there's some to give away. And it's a really nice part of just kind of living an overall healthier lifestyle is wanting to just give things and be of service if you can to others. So that's going on right now. It's on orders over $199 over at equilibriumnutrition.com. So you could purchase the Daily Foundational Protocol Level 2, which is what I do every day, a lab, or whatever your favorite products are, and get 2 bottles for free. And that is well over a $100 value. All right, next up, I will be sharing. So here's the thing. I'm going to go over censorship for just a moment. A lot of people just find it so hard to believe, and I did it as well, why people that are speaking just the truth of what is going on in their practice, their urgent care units, what's going on, like for strictly facts, are being censored. Meaning YouTubers taking down their videos, Instagram isn't showing their posts, Facebook, etc. And here's the thing, like people are sharing real facts, real statistics, and they're just taking them right down. So again, I still don't fully know what is going on, except that the main goal seems to be keeping people in fear and isolating from one another, and also systematically destroying the economy. That it seems to be some strange goal. I don't know why that would be. And I went through all of the different statistics on my Tuesday show. And when I said I had kind of my faith restored in humanity, it's because it was the single largest podcast download day that I've ever had in over 4 years of doing the Cabral concept. It was not planned. It just kind of happened. We had many more comments on the Instagram post, which, by the way, like I said, I've been censored. Only 1% of anybody who follows me gets to see my post now. So unless you say, and you click those little buttons in the top right corner and you say show notifications, you're probably not going to see any of my posts anymore because I've been censored. And I've said from the beginning, I don't understand why I would be targeted, because I'm the one who says, use the best of natural health. Here are the scientific studies showing what works for nutritional supplements and foods and herbs, etc. And also, here are the drugs, like the pharmaceuticals, that seem to be working really well in terms of if you do end up in the hospital. So again, I'm in the middle ground. I mean, literally, I'm the one saying, this works for conventional medicine and acute care. This works for natural health and try not to get sick. But regardless, I don't know if I will be uncensored in the future. But what can I do? Like that's something I can't control. What I can control, at least for now, or to my knowledge, is that at stephencabral.com/podcasts, it's my website. And you should be able to continue to download all of my podcasts and all of my items there. In the future, I will be creating more videos. That was already supposed to be happening. Unfortunately, again, I can't even get into my Boston office to be able to shoot the videos that I did want. But, there are a lot of people out there who are speaking out on essentially a near daily basis. London Real has had a bunch of episodes with different people. Dr. Rashid Buttar, Buttar. You can follow his work. It was Dr. Shiva is the name I was looking for. That's Shiva. Again, a PhD, very intelligent man over and from MIT. There's some good articles by Dr. Joseph Mercola. And then there's some great satirical comedy by Awaken with JP Sears. So these are all people that you can kind of just look at, and it's just another perspective. And that's what I want people to have, because even when I posted on Tuesday the must-know viral-based updates, it was 99.9% all positive and people really showing their support. And I really appreciated that, because I don't get down for long, but I was certainly, I just wasn't happy. I had taken a trip to, basically out and about in Boston. And what I saw was essentially, a scene out of an apocalypse. There was no one outside. It was, when I did go out, people wearing face masks everywhere. Everyone acting really anxious and timid. And, one person even posted on Instagram saying, oh, well, Massachusetts was really hit the hardest. I know people on the front lines and, there's still a lot to be fearful of. And I said, I don't disagree. I'm from Boston. I live in the heart of the city. And she said, well, only half of the people who died are over the age of, 60 years old or so. And I said, listen, I understand that there is fear. And I said, being in the health field myself, I know many doctors in Boston. I know many nurses, and I know many healthcare practitioners. I said, but we have to stick to the facts. There are 7 million people in Massachusetts. So 7 million people in Massachusetts. There are 5,000 cases. Okay, so I'm not saying that every person is infected with this particular virus, but let's say 20% of the people in Massachusetts have already gotten it. So that would be about 1.4 million people, right? So if we just do the math, because I just want people to do the math for themselves and the statistics so they don't have to believe the media hype. So let's take the 5,000 cases and let's just divide by 1.4 million, okay? So if we do that, we're going to get a percentage rate of mortality of about 0.003. And you say, well, maybe it's even less than that. Okay, so let's say that it's less than that. Let's just say 10% of the people in Massachusetts are infected. So we have to divide that now by 5,000, divide by 700,000, okay? Because that's 10% of 7 million. So now we're going to get an mortality rate of 0.007. So again, it could be higher, but we're not talking about 5%, 10% of people. And if you actually look at the statistics, this is updated as well. We're going to see that this is basically a few weeks ago. But the average age of death was 81 years old in Massachusetts, okay? There were 0 deaths in the 0 to 19 age category. There was 1 in the 20 to 29 category. There were 7 in the 30 to 39 years old category, and 13 in the 40 to 49 years old category. And also, this does not state all the pre-existing health conditions that some of these people had. I know 2 of them at least, because I saw the particular cases, were recovering from cancer or had cancer. One of them had prostate cancer. They were in their 40s. So it does not mean there aren't outliers to any particular virus. And I just want to state that. And I also want to state the severity and the severity in if you actually get the symptoms. But our goal was free up hospitals, allow there to be hospital beds, figure out what pharmaceutical interventions we can use, and get people well when they do end up in the hospital. And now we look at pharmaceuticals like remdesivir or hydroxychloroquine, which, again, they're not even using as much of because most likely it's a generic-based drug. And it doesn't even count all of the people that were mortality by this particular virus because hospitals are also being incentivized to state that it was a viral-based case. So if we look at this, we say, okay, where's the jump? Well, 50 to 59-year-olds was 63 in mortality, 182 when we get to 60 to 69 years old, 399 at the 7 to 79 years old, and 1,144 for the 80 plus. You can see that there is a massive jump once we get to 60 years old. There's a, 2.5x jump when you get to 70. And then there is a massive jump when you get to 80 plus. We've seen this all over the world. This is not just Massachusetts. This is in Italy and many other locations. And why? It's because many of you don't know this, but they allowed people who had viral-based infections back into nursing homes. They were told that they could not and should not keep people out. And this happened in New York, and that's why you don't hear about this as much, but that's the truth. So anyway, I don't want to make this show another viral-based update show, but I just want everybody to know out there, it's not that this isn't serious. Listen, my parents are in the age category that's 60 to 69 where they're at risk, right? So I am taking this very seriously, but we have to understand is that all of this talk about wearing masks and all of these things, it's totally unfounded. If you search, and you will find the video from Fauci saying that masks do not work, okay? He said that before any of this even happened. And now we're being asked to wear that. And people are pulling their masks up and down. Well, you're doing that with your hands. And your hands are most likely would have touched things. And also, the only way we would not be exposed is to wear protective glasses, full seal around the eyes. A mask with a full seal around the mask. Not these little blue flimsy masks that people are wearing. That does nothing to prevent it. Except if you cough a little bit, then it will stop some of it from going out into the environment. But the thing is, if you're sick, you should stay home. People who are not sick are not spreading it, or they could be carriers as healthy individuals, and only healthy people who are not in the at-risk category should be out. But that is a happy medium. But when I look at all these statistics, I get overwhelmed because now we're saying the majority of people that there's a study saying that are Republican, well, they believe that we should be not as fearful. And those people that are Democrat, they're saying that they're more fearful and want to wait till we go out. Well, that's because when you watch the two particular media channels, one is instilling fear and one is saying, let's get back out. So like they're just following what the media is saying. Trust me, you don't need the media in order to make an independent, intelligent decision. Please do not let the media sway you one way or another. You don't have to say you're Republican. You don't have to say you're Democrat. It does not matter. You can be a person rather than a political party. I'm not a political party. I have no political party affiliation whatsoever. I'm pro-people. Whatever the category is, depending on the person, is whatever I try to do best. All right, I'm turning this into another viral-based show, so I'm going to step aside for a second. I just want you to be able to look up, do the research. It's not research. Look at the actual statistics. It's but less than 1%. It's most likely, as I said, 0.1 or 0.2%. And when you look at it, the only way a virus goes away is not by staying inside. And by the way, no one is staying inside. People are still food shopping. They're still going to Costco. They're still going to the post office. People are still outside, okay? There's no quarantine really going on. That's not really happening. And so you will see it continue to spread. And yes, when more people go out, there will be a little bit of a spike. It has to happen. It's inevitable. That is how viruses work. There is no other science except that. There's literally no other science except that. So, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to move on. I apologize. This is why I can't talk about the virus because the media is not science-based. And if you strictly go by the statistics, we're causing fear, not for no reason at all. I'm not saying that. People should be worried about getting the flu. It could lead to pneumonia. People should be worried about this virus because it can also cause lung-based complications. And if those things happen at the first sign, please seek out medical advice. That's why we have these hospitals now essentially empty in most cities right now to allow for people to get the care that they need. So it is there. All right. I'm going to stop now. I'm going to move on. I was going to do a podcast recap for the week. I want to be respectful of your time. So you can see all of last week's podcasts at stephencabral.com/podcasts. You'll be able to check them out right there. The Motivation and Mindset Monday on not placing ceilings on your dreams and how big you can dream in life and what you can do in order to move those forward. Tuesday was the viral-based updates. On Wednesday, really interesting show on some brand new research on what I'm calling the dawn to dusk diet plan. Yesterday, we went over the science of exercise recovery and programming. And obviously, we have today's show, and tomorrow will be our Cabral House Calls where we answer your questions. All right. So coming up, though, in the next couple of weeks, I wanted to let you know I did bump my show on the weakened immune system and Th1 and Th2 dominance, why some people are more susceptible to viral-based issues. That is coming next Tuesday. All right. So check it out next Tuesday. Next Monday, it's most likely the show is going to be 7 life changers that I've learned. A couple of weeks ago, I did a show on what I'm teaching my daughters during this time, and 7 things that I've kind of learned in that. I actually have taken a lot from this experience. I've had to do 2 full 14-day self-quarantines, not leaving the house because I actually followed the rules. I'll share that with you. That's probably coming up this Monday. I'll share with you my entire methodology that I've been using in my practice now for a decade and why we're able to get people the results and really use the basis of ancient Ayurvedic wisdom, combining that with state-of-the-art science. And in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be doing my tick bite protocol as well. A lot of people are asking about that protocol, obviously, now that we're in the springtime and moving into the summer. All right. So this week's product review is the InstaPot. Now, a lot of people have actually been asking, how do you reduce a lot of lectins, or how do you reduce certain things in plant-based foods? And how do you make an easier cook one? Well, one thing you can do is kind of set it and forget it, right? If you don't know what an InstaPot is, I definitely recommend checking it out. Ours is actually a stainless steel inside, so it allows you not to have any Teflon or anything like that you're cooking your food in. And there are so many free recipes online, so many recipes for using an InstaPot. So one of the big benefits is that you can essentially slow cook a meal over a period of hours, if not the day, by prepping in the morning and basically put it in and it's ready by dinner time. It is one of the ways that I learned essentially to cook. And again, I'm not doing a lot of the cooking in my family. I want to give full respect and full shout out to my wife who does the cooking for our family and makes amazing meals. Yes, I cook my famous gluten-free, dairy-free waffles and pancakes and all that on the weekend, but I'm not creating, these great meals at night. But we're coming up with recipes, both my wife and I, and she is a great cook and makes a lot of these things. So I've been using the slow cooker. Simply put, you can put in a protein, whatever you'd like. We've been chopping up some purple potatoes that, I always talk about, or some Japanese yams, some carrots or parsnips, some celery right in there. My wife likes to use a good amount of onion, so I'll put onion in there as well for a little bit of flavor. But honestly, you can cook anything in there. You can do it with a good amount of fluid and water. I'll try to link up a couple recipes and websites as well. But here's the nice thing. You can cook things on a low setting, around 170 to 100 to 200 degrees, and that's on the low setting. You can do the kind of the normal, the mid-range setting, which is right around 200 degrees or so. And then you can do the higher setting if you want it more like 225 degrees to up to 275 degrees. So you can see that for the most part, like if you were to bake, you probably do it around 350 to maybe 375 or 425. Broil as 500 plus degrees. So on an InstaPot and a slow cooker, it allows you to cook these things at a lower, slower cook time, which is definitely part of the Ayurvedic-based philosophy. Really help to break down the foods, make it nice and warm and nourishing for the body. And at least springtime in New England, these are still great times to be able to do that. So super simple, super easy, and not a lot of cleanup at the same time because you cook everything in one big pot. And you can even use a rice cooker on the side if you wanted to cook the rice separately, if you added rice or not. So pretty easy. I'm going to send some links up to it just to for the essence of time today. But if you don't have an Instapot and you might like to start doing a little bit slow cooking in that way, well, you can check it out, and I'll link up to it. Okay. Next up on our show, I wanted to bring you two research topics. The first one is this. So the first one, pretty interesting. Again, I haven't updated the page in a little bit, but it's still all of my previous viral-based video updates. So it's stephencabral.com/virus. And it shows you from the progression from when essentially the virus started. I can't name the virus because then I get censored even more. So anyway, you see all the different things. And from the very beginning, we said daily foundational protocol, which is the daily nutritional support, daily fruit and vegetable blend, omega-3s, and daily probiotic. That helps overall gut health, overall healthy immune system, etc. And then we said from the very beginning, daily immune protocol, vitamin C, zinc, vitamin D. All based on science, all based on decades and decades and decades of research, right? Well, all of it has been proven true, even more so. All the studies in hospitals using vitamin C before they were shut down and not allowed to. We see zinc being a huge factor in those people that get more symptoms than others. And now the final one is vitamin D, right? Well, now we see vitamin D finally being proven to actually work against this particular virus. Again, what I share with you is there's never any marketing, there's never any hype behind it. I share with you exactly what works. It's exactly what I do, what I tell my family to do, what everyone in our private practice does, and I want to share that with you, okay? Now again, do you have to use Equilibrium nutrition products? Never. No, that is completely your choice. But what you need is at least a trusted company that uses functional medicine-based formulas and functional medicine-based science to create the products that help people actually get the results that these studies show, right? So that is what Equilibrium Nutrition does, and it's your choice if you would like to purchase them there. But again, you can purchase them from wherever you'd like. I'm going to actually link this over to you. It says, new study claims vitamin D deficiency may impact, I'm not going to name the virus mortality rates. So it showed in Italy and Spain, those people with lower levels of vitamin D compared to patients in countries that were not as severely affected. Basically just saying that the better the vitamin D, the better your immune system works. I mean, that's foundational and fundamental. We've known that now for a good 30, 40 years. We really have. This is not new information. It's new now to the general public. Probably not new to you because you probably listened to the podcast for a while and you probably looked into natural health, and that's great. But most people don't know this, and that's why most people are in massive fear right now. I get it. I understand that. But knowledge is power. And when you really start to see all of this, you understand that we do not have to live in fear. We don't. We need to live our lives. We need to not say, oh, well, you can't be around more than 10 people. What is it with 11? Like, who's the 11th person? They somehow make things unhealthy, or you have 20 healthy friends together, and that is somehow more disruptive than having 9? Again, we have to really start to ask why. Why? That is what I ask you to ask yourself. Why are we doing this? Why the fear? If we have just a little stronger mortality rate, a little higher mortality rate than the flu is what all the experts, not me, right? I'm not an expert virologist. I'm not an expert epidemiologist, but I'm not paid by the media. Don't go by the paid media. Look at the studies. If that's what the experts are saying, why are we still doing what we're doing? We flatten the curve. We allow the hospitals to have those open beds. We know that the ventilators aren't working, but we know oxygen is. We know these specific protocols are. We've learned. So why are we still doing what we're doing? It's just a question to ask why. That's what I ask you. Ask why. That's all. All right. So last but not least is a very interesting study that I'm going to do a full podcast on. But I want you to know about it. And that is because you may or may not have heard before about technology called CRISPR. Now, CRISPR is essentially a gene editing technology. That means it can actually edit the genes of, originally it was going to be more in vitro based. But what we're actually looking at now is for adults now being able to use this specific technology to edit their own genes to be able to get a dis-ease that they are susceptible to. So I'm going to link up this article. It's in Gene News. And it basically helped a woman to fend off sickle cell disease. And that's pretty amazing, right? I mean, that is absolutely amazing. Why do I share this with you? Because the belief of this particular company is that within 10 to 20 years, if you are susceptible to certain diseases, you will no longer be susceptible to them. And that is why, again, I share with you that I do my best. I'm by no means perfect. I'm not. You can ask many people on my team, my family. I'm not a perfect individual. I never claim to be. I'm a work in progress, okay? Just like most people, I'm a work in progress, and I work every day on myself. But I work to be in service of other people. I work to be helpful. I get great enjoyment out of that. I get great pleasure out of that myself as well. And I'm just trying to improve, and I try to stay impartial. I try to stay unbiased. So what I'm saying is we can use the best of ancient Ayurvedic wisdom, the natural hygienists, the traditional Chinese medicine, all of these great things, and we can combine that with the best of today and the best of state-of-the-art based technology. I'll be bringing more to you, but again, it's why I share with you optimism. Keep yourself healthy. Don't wait for the government to say they can make you healthy. Please take health into your own hands. You have the ability to do that. I know that you do. And if you keep yourself healthy, and you can do this in just 10 to 20 years from now, your ability to stay even healthier and live longer, stronger is going to be within your reach. Thank you so much. Have an amazing weekend. I'll be back tomorrow answering our community's questions on the Cabral House Calls. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.